Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session where we will be making a responsive navigation bar. So, we'll talk all about it, what is responsive basically for those who are new to web development, and how to exactly create that responsive navigation bar that we're talking about. So, let's wait for a few more minutes and let other people also join, as you guys are actually before time, but that's good actually. So let's let the clock hit 7:30 and see if more people join, and then we'll begin.
Hi guys.
Hello, Saman. Hello, everyone. Time management. Okay. Yeah. At least someone took some advice and they are managing their time, right? From the previous session. Hello, Faraz. Can you, is this your gaming name? Star Attacker, I'm guessing. Yeah, I figured.
Probably his gamer tag.
Yeah. Good, good, nice. A lot of gamers now emerging from every part of the country. That's great. How are all of you though? Like the COVID situation and all, is it even okay? That's great. Shivam. Hello, hello Jayashree, hello. Let me see if the students are in or not from the training. Okay, Jayashree is here and Simran is here. Okay, great. Good evening. Also, I said this at the first session also, and I keep saying it sometimes, but some of you are new, some of you are old, those who know me from before. So you don't have to specifically call me sir or anything. You can just call me by my name or anything like bhaiya, something, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be sir. If you want to call sir, you can call. But yeah, there's no obligation to you that you have to call sir or something. Okay. Like I know a few of you, like someone, he took my advice and he calls me Trihan. So yeah, it's totally cool. Oh yeah, my name is not visible, right? This is the ID. Okay, so my name is Trehan Sangapri. Okay, for all of you who don't know. Okay, sir is legit as you're providing me knowledge. Yeah, maybe you, if you want, you can. There's no problem in that. Obviously, if you call uh, sir, then that's like a kind of giving respect or something. So yeah, it feels good. But yeah, there's no mandatory thing that you have to do this. Okay, it's 7:31. Let's wait for 3-4 minutes more and see if more people join. So I see a lot of new people joining in today. Welcome to the session. And what I would like you to do is everyone just write where you're from. Okay, which city, which state you're from, so that we get to know what kind of diverse audience we have today. Gwalior, MP. Everyone just write in the chat box where you're from. Okay, Balrampur, Chennai. Shivam is not from Chennai, I know that. But still, I don't know why he wrote Chennai. Ahmedabad, Lucknow, Allahabad. Okay. It's Prayagraj now, right? But okay, I understand. I still feel it's Allahabad, but okay. Bhopal. Hello guys, Saket Bhai or Saket here. What are you writing? Saket. ओह ओके, गुजरात में भाई बोलते हैं सबको. ग्रेट. ओह हाँ, मोटा भाई. लाइक दैट स्टफ नो. बिग फैन साकेत भाई. Okay, so for those of you who are here for the first time, my name is Trehan Sangpre and I'll be taking today's session, which is creating a responsive navigation bar that you see in a lot of websites. So I'll be showing you a website with a responsive navigation bar so that you can see the final product, and then we'll be creating one with you guys right now where I'll be speed coding it today and you can follow along with me. And so what I want all of you to do is open up any code editor that you use. It can be Visual Studio Code, or it can be Sublime Text, or it can be brackets, or whatever you are comfortable with, and you should have a browser open for this whole thing to work. Okay, so I want you all to go ahead and open it, be ready with it, and write ready in the chat box when you are, and we'll begin. Okay. Okay, Akshat is ready. Great. I want every one of you, those who can, okay, those who are attending to just watch the lecture, it's totally fine, you can. But those who can, code right now alongside me, please open up your editor and also a browser to actually do it with me side by side. Okay, someone is ready, that's great. Let me see at least, out of 19, 10 people ready with their devices. Get set go. Yes, Jay Shri is ready, that's great. Okay, Parth is ready, Shivam is ready, that's great. Saket ready, great. So for those of you who are joining right now, what I said is that open up your laptop, PC, whatever you use, and then get ready with Visual Studio Code or any code editor that you prefer on one side, and one side you should have your browser window open so that we can start with the session. Okay, once you're done, once you're ready with it, just type ready in the chat box and I'll know, and we'll begin. Yeah, sure. That's why I'm waiting. Just give me a ready in the chat box and then we'll begin. Ready. Okay. Start with the same energy and the same intensity. Yes, we will start. Okay. So I guess almost all of you are ready. So should I start? Okay. Waiting. Kushag. It's okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, till the time you guys are setting it up, I already have it set up. So I'm gonna share my screen and just give me a confirmation in the chat box if you can see my screen. Okay, let me just do that. Okay, so if you can see my screen, just give me a yes in the chat box. Till that time, others, open up everything and get ready and we'll start. Okay, great. So my screen is visible. You can see that I have my Visual Studio Code folder open on the left side and I have my browser window ready for the navbar on the right side. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's begin. So let me just expand this window and show you what responsive navbar, or basically what responsive means. So the basic definition of a responsive website or any responsive element in a website is that it should be adaptable to different screen sizes. Okay, because different people have different kind of devices. You can have an iPad, you can have a Samsung tablet or something like that, which has like 8 to 14 inches or 8 to 12 inches size, right? you may have a desktop with laptop with like 13 inches, 15 inches, 16 inches Mac, or you may have a bigger screen like 24 inches or 32 inches. So based on that screen sizes, your website should be adapt to it, and then work accordingly. So let me show you what a responsive navigation bar looks like. So I'm going to search for docogen.com. Okay, and here you can see that here we have the logo, and here we have the links. So this is a navigation bar, a typical top navigation bar. Okay, and if I just reduce the screen size to like a mobile window or normal, what do we call that, iPad window, so you can see that the navigation bar now has become a hamburger menu. Okay, this is called a hamburger icon, okay, or a burger icon. So if I click on this, you can see that now I can see the navigation bar. The links are now in vertical direction, and if I again expand the screen size, you can see that that changes into the original navigation. Okay, that's just the way it was. So that's what we are going to make today, and we'll also be making like not just the navigation bar but also some screens so that we can scroll through them. Okay, and yeah, that's our project for today. So are you guys ready? Shall we start coding? Okay, let's go. So I have my VS Code on the left side and I have my browser on the right. So before I begin, I'm going to tell you an extension in VS Code that I use and I'll be using in this session as well. It is known as Live Server. Okay, so what this thing lets you do is that whenever I write some code and I press save or I save the document, my HTML website gets refreshed automatically, so I don't have to refresh it every time. Okay, so this is a extension called Live Server that you should install so that you can have the same kind of access to the resources whatever I am using right now. Okay, so this is Live Server by Ritvik Day, and you can install this. Okay, so that is just the only prerequisite for this, and now I'm going to begin. So I hope all of you are already have already opened a separate folder for this project, and now I'm starting. Okay, so for this we need to create one file, that is index.html, which is going to be our HTML file, and then we also need to create one more file that is going to be style.css. Okay, style.css, which is where we will write our styling code. Okay, CSS, and then the last one is going to be a JavaScript file called app.js. Okay, so we are going to need these three files to create this project. We are going to need one file of HTML, which will define the structure of the whole project. The second file is called CSS. Okay, that is going to style the whole website, the whole navigation bar and everything. And the third one is called app.js, through which we are going to add interactions. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So let's start. So the first thing that I'll do is I'm gonna create the boilerplate code here. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to write !shift1 and then press tab. Once you do that, you'll get this code. Okay, this is known as boilerplate code, which you need to write in every HTML document, every website. So this is something that you'll learn when you start HTML. Okay, so I'm going to change the title to responsive navbar. Okay, that's my title. So you can, now what I'll do is I'm going to write here hello world so that I can see something on the screen. And now I'll right click on this and then click on open with live server. Okay, you just have to write ! and then press tab. Okay, that's it. That's what you have to do, nothing else. And then immediately you will get this boilerplate code. Okay, there's no more requirement in that. Okay, so now that I have clicked this open with live server, I can see that my window has opened. Let me bring it here in this tab only. Okay, so you can see that hello world is visible here. Okay, and let me show you how live server works. So if I say hello people, okay, and then save it, you'll see that it automatically refreshed on the right side, and now I can see hello people. So that's how live server works, and it saves a lot of your time because every time you have to go and refresh your code so that you can see the changes that you made. Okay, so now let's begin with the coding part. So first of all, what we'll be doing is we'll be coding the HTML part. That means we will be making the navigation bar structure. Okay, so let me quickly open up Figma for you and then show you what kind of structure our navigation bar is going to have. So basically our navigation bar is going to be like this. Okay, we'll have a box. Okay, we'll have a box like this, and inside that box we'll be having, let me just use shapes instead of text and all. So here we'll have a logo. Okay, let me make this of some different color, and then here on this side we'll be having our links. So this is the basic structure of our nav bar. Okay, this is the basic structure of our nav bar. And in the mobile menu, or basically in the responsive format, how it should look like is that the logo should be there on the left side of the nav bar, but if we decrease the size of this screen, there should be a different kind of burger icon here. So let us denote that by a rectangle. Okay, here that should appear whenever we are on smaller screens. Okay, so this is the kind of structure that we are going for. Okay, so we have one box outside, and then we have two boxes here, one for the logo, one for the links, and then we have individual links here, 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. And then after that, in the mobile menu we also have a icon here. Okay, so that is what we are going to make. Let's write down the HTML code for this. Okay, let's begin. So first of all, I'll create a div with a class called navbar. You can use these shortcuts called dot something, whatever you write after dot, and then press tab. It will automatically add the class of that particular name, whatever you write. So this is a very useful shortcut in VS Code. So just write dot something, whatever the name is, and then press tab. You'll get it automatically. Okay, you don't need to write the full thing, div, class, everything. You just need to do dot navbar. So this is the outer box that we talked about in Figma right now. Okay, the outer box that is going to be dot navbar, the class of navbar. Inside navbar, we are going to have two different blocks. Okay, as we saw, one is going to contain our logo, and the other one is going to contain our all the links. So for that, let me create it. So the first box is dot logo. We'll leave it for now. Okay, like this. And the second one is going to be dot, and this one I'm gonna name it nav links. Okay, and then in the same way press tab and you'll get it. Okay, so this is the basic structure of our navbar. Wait, someone is trying to join the meeting. Okay, done. Okay, so now let's add our logo inside of it. So here I'm not gonna add any kind of picture or something. I'm just gonna use a small logo, like a textual logo. Okay, I'm gonna use text as my logo. So I'll be adding an A tag, and then I'll be writing hash inside this because we don't have to go anywhere, and then write logo for my logo. So this is going to be my logo. Okay, a simple text called logo. You can see it appeared here. And then let's come inside nav links and then start entering our links. So basically this is a convention in web dev that you use unordered list, or maybe just a simple list, to contain all the links. CodePen does not have autocomplete, or what? CodePen has no, it does not have till that extent the way you have in VS Code, but yeah, it won't show you the things automatically. You have to write dot navbar and then press tab. It will do it for you. Okay, so you will have to write a lot in CodePen, but in VS Code you have a lot of shortcuts, so that's much better. Okay, so if you are doing on CodePen, you'll have to write it down. Okay, back to the code. So this is going to contain our navigation links, and as I was saying, navigation links should always be contained inside a list. Okay, because you have a list of links. So for that we are going to open a UL tag. UL is basically unordered list. Okay, that means you'll get some bullet lists here. Let's have a look at it. So UL, inside that I want a link. So a dot, and I'm going to name this individual one nav link. Again, hash, because we don't want to go anywhere as of now. And inside this I'll have my list item. Okay, li, that's a list item. And then this one I'm going to name it home. Okay, because this is our first item, and you can see that we have a bullet point here. That's what UL does. Now let me just copy this whole thing inside the UL tag and copy paste it below. Okay, so that I have at least 4 links. and now I can name them separately. Like this one is home, so this one can be about, and this one maybe is services. The last one can be, I guess, contact, right? So this one can be contact. Okay, so now you can see on the right side of the screen that we have our logo and we have our 4 links. But we also talked about adding an icon, right? So let me add that third component here. It will be hidden on larger screens and visible on smaller screens. Okay, so we'll achieve that using CSS, but for now let's just add it here, okay, for the sake of it. So let's call it burger, okay, or let's call it icon. Maybe let's call it burger, okay, that makes much more sense to me. Okay, click on enter and then you'll get this burger, and inside this we want to add an icon. So for icon, what I'm going to use here is something known as font awesome. Okay, so I'm going to search on the next page and write font awesome CDN. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the first result, cdnjs.com. okay, click on this. Till the time it's open, I'm going to search for font awesome icons. Font awesome icons 5.5.13, because that's the version we'll use. Yes, I'll drop the link as soon as I get it. As you can see, it's still loading. Okay, so now this is the first link that you need to get, and I'm gonna copy. You have to click on this, copy link tag. Okay, so let me copy it, and once you copy it, you can come back, and then inside the head of your HTML document, right before your title, you need to press enter and then paste it. Okay, it did not copy it. Wait, let me copy again. Copied. Okay, paste. So now you can see that I have this here, and I'm gonna drop this link in the chat box as well to make your job easier. Okay, so you can just get this link from the chat box and then copy it and add it to your code right here where I did, inside the head of your HTML document. Okay, and that's it. We don't need this page anymore. Next, let's have a look at font awesome icons. Click on the link and let's search for the burger icon. Okay, as far as I remember, let me just put it here. I guess it's this. Okay, so i.fas.fa dash burger, no sorry, bars. I guess it's called bars. Let me save it and have a look at it whether I'm correct or not. Yeah, I got the icon. Okay, so for those of you who don't understand what I did, so Font Awesome is a third-party icons library, okay, icon set, where you can get a lot of different icons. As you can see, these are all different icons available, and to know what code to use for what, we can write here. Like, I can search for menu, okay, and you will find that, okay, menu is not here. Let me search for bars, as I said. So every different icon has something. Yeah, now you can see it. This is the bars icon that I'm using here. If you click on this icon, you can actually see the rule of adding this, how to add this. The website is taking a lot of time today. Is my screen visible to all of you, right? This is not my connection, correct? You can see it properly? Just give me a yes if you
Yes,
can.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So here you can see that this is the HTML code that I wrote here, and you just have to copy this. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this also in the chat box so you can add it quickly. Okay, so all of this you don't need to remember. When you start coding, you automatically start remembering all of this stuff. Okay, but for now, just make use of Google, make use of all of these websites and everything, and you're good to go. Okay, so we are back to this, and now this is what we need. This is the navigation bar that we need. Okay, now all we need to do is add some style. But before I do that, we actually want our links to go somewhere. Okay, we are not going to add anything. We are just going to add like a page's worth of scroll, so that we can scroll through the whole page, and these links also can take us somewhere. So for that, I'm just going to add few dummy sections for all of these links like home, about, services, and contact. The way you do that is I'm going to create a class of section, okay, and an ID of home and then tab. So you can see that I created a div with a class of section and ID of home, okay, and then I'm going to call this 2 to 3 times so that I have 4 different sections inside my page. And now I can change the name of each section through ID to different links that might take it to, okay, so home, about, services, and the last one is going to be, what did I keep it? Contact, right? So let me name it contact. So now we have this. Let's put something inside of this so that we can actually see it. So let's just write normally home, and in this one let's write about. In the third one let's write services, and the last one let's write, what is it, contact. I always forget contact. Okay, save it, and now you can see that these 4 are also visible. Okay, yeah, this also works fine. And like in my experience this works in a much better way because you're able to place the links in the like what. Okay, when we will align this, then you will see when we align it vertically, this A tag actually helps us to align it immediately. Otherwise, when you use li tag and then use the A tag inside it, then you have to actually first arrange the height and stuff, then it aligns itself. So this works in a much better way. But yeah, you can surely, if you know that, then you will have to put some extra styling. This is the best and the simplest way to do it. Okay, so we have got the 4 sections. We are going to be styling it later, and then we also have the navigation bar with us here. Okay, so right now we are going to forget about responsiveness and we are just going to work on making this ugly navigation bar look a little bit better. Okay, so now we are done with HTML. Okay, this is all you need to write in HTML. Let me know in the chat box how many of you are done with HTML. Just write yes if you are done with it. Even if you're just about to end, you can write yes. Let's see. Okay, great. Shivam, Saman, Akshat, one more Akshat. Okay, Jay Shri. Great. So a lot of you are coding along with me. That's great. Okay, so this is what we have in HTML. Yeah, sure. This is the code. Wait, let me just copy the whole body. Okay, and drop it in the chat box so that those of you who are lagging a little bit behind, you can just copy this one. Okay, or check from this. Okay, there you go. If you just want to make sure that it's right or wrong, oh, Google Meet has a limit on this, the characters and all. Okay, wait, let me send the rest of the code also. Okay, so it's sent till here, then after that you have this. Okay, grab this from the chat box and you'll be good to go. It's again not sending properly. Okay, fine, I'm sending till about, and then you can write the rest. It's just 2 lines. Okay, so I'm not sending the 2 lines, rest I'm sending. Yep, you can grab it and then you can write it. Okay, so for others who are done with the HTML code, let's move over to CSS. Okay, shall we do it? Give me a yes in the chat box. Okay, great, let's start. So just like in HTML, we have a certain kind of boilerplate code, right? We use that exclamation mark and then some stuff comes on screen. That is the bare minimum. Like boilerplate का meaning क्या होता है? What is the meaning of boilerplate? It is just the bare minimum code you need to start that particular project, whether it's HTML or some of you might be coding in C++, some of you might be coding in Java. So you know that you have to write some stuff, you know, hash include, IOStream and stuff, and then main function and everything. Then only you can start doing in that, something in that. In the same way in HTML also, you have to write this. This is the bare minimum code, the boilerplate of this particular language, that is HTML. And then only you can start doing anything. Okay. So in the same way, CSS also, like this is not defined anywhere, but in my experience, you should always do this. So consider this as a boilerplate for CSS. Okay, so this is what we do. We write star, okay, and then we open curly braces. This is a normal syntax for a CSS, where you write the element and then you open curly braces and then you write a pair of property and value. Okay, just like this. So property is margin and it's 0, and then padding is a property, that's also 0. And then what next we write is, we write box sizing is border box. So this is just a kind of boilerplate for you guys in CSS. Okay, now one more thing that I want to do is add a custom font, because this font does not look nice. The font that generally a browser gives you is not nice. So let's add a custom font. For that, you can go to fonts.google.com, a great resource for fonts. Okay, they're all for free and you can add them in your code. Just like we added that icon, right, from Font Awesome. In the same way, you can add fonts from Google Fonts. So let me search for one of my favorite fonts. So my favorite font is Montserrat, and we use it extensively in all Dokujin's websites and everything. But let's go with Poppins this time. Poppins is also a great font. Okay, and there are a lot of different great fonts like Railway, you have Leto, you have something known as what is that called, Anton, you have Oswald. So there are a lot of fonts that are great looking. So yeah, you can check that out. Okay, so let me grab the styles. So I don't want the light font, I just want the regular one. Okay, and let me just maximize this. Okay, and I want the medium one, and I also want the semi bold and the bold. Okay, so all of these fonts I selected. You can see that these are the fonts I selected: Poppins, regular, medium, semi bold and bold, different types. The font's name is Poppins. This one, or do you want the other ones which I said? Akshat Mittal. All. Okay, so I'm gonna name them. There's this one, Poppins, then there's Montserrat, okay, then there's Railway, Raleway, then there's Oswald, okay, Oswald, remember that blue octopus, the same name. And then there's Lato, so I don't know if it's Lato or Lato, whatever it is. And then there's Anton. So all of these fonts are great. Okay, you can check them out. So what you need to do here is, you have already selected all the styles you need. You can see them here. And here is the link tag for it. Just like you copied the link tag for Font Awesome. In the same way, for Google Fonts, you have the link tags here. You just have to copy this. Okay, copy this and come back to your code, index.html, and then again go to the head of HTML file, and right before this enter it and then save it. Okay, so now Google Fonts, the fonts that we selected, have been installed. Okay, Shivam, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat box. Take it. Yep, Ubuntu is also nice. Thanks, Saket, for sending this. Okay, and the next thing that you need to copy is this, which is the CSS rule that you're gonna write so that you can apply this font. So I'm gonna copy this, send it to you guys in the chat box. Okay, and then close this. And now if I come back to style.css, I can apply this right here in star so that it applies globally to my whole page, and that is what I need. I want every single text on my page to be Poppins. Okay, save it. But you'll see that it does not make any difference. And why is that? Because right now this CSS file is not connected with my HTML file. So let's go ahead and do that. So right now, right before this title, write LINK and then colon CSS and then enter. So this is also Emmet. This will happen in VS Code. Okay, so please check that. Otherwise you can write this whole thing. Okay, this is the link tag used to link your own CSS files. So whatever you have named your CSS file inside href, please write that particular name of the file. Okay, so my file's name is style.css. That is why here you can see it is written style.css. Okay, so please follow the same format. And now when I save this, you can see that the font has been applied towards the right. You can see the font has changed now. Okay, And also you saw a lot of space between all of this borders and everything. Now everything is gone because of this. Because what this does is it removes every single kind of styling that has been pre-applied by your browser, and then leaves you with a blank page for you to style. That means you have total control over the styling of your website, and that's very, very important. Okay. Now, moving forward, the first thing that we are going to style here is, let me see. So we have the body. Okay, let's begin with the body. Okay. So there's not much to do in body. I guess we can set the font size. Okay, the definite font size for everything. So let me do that. So the font size that I want is, let's say 18 pixels. So that means every text is going to be of 18 pixels. And I guess that's it for body for now. If we need anything, we'll add it later on. Okay, let's move further. Now I don't want my links inside the page to have this ugly blue color and then underline. So what I'll do is I'll define globally that all the links inside my page should have the color that is inherited from the page. That means whatever the parent element has the color defined, that color only apply to the links. Okay, if I save it, you can see that now they become black. Okay, and the next thing that I want to do is never apply any kind of underline, or basically that's called as text decoration. So never do that. So text decoration is none. And when you save that, you can see that now everything looks perfectly. Okay, now let's move on towards styling this stuff. Okay, so let's see. Let's have a look at our code structure and then think of it. So the first thing that you see is that this is a box that is from here till here. Okay, this is the nav bar. Okay, and inside nav bar I have logo, and then I have nav links, and then I have burger. Inside nav links I have different links. That's the structure. Okay, so let's do that. Let's style it. So the first thing we are styling is the main outer box. So dot nav bar. Open the curly braces, and now here we can start styling. So the first thing we need is we need to define the width and height. Okay, so the width of this navigation bar should be exactly the size of the screen. That means 100%. Okay, and then height of this generally, okay, so the preferred height of a nav bar is between 80 pixels to 10 VH. Okay, 10 VH is basically 10% of your exact screen size or screen height. Okay, that's what that means. So height will be 10 VH. Okay, save it, and then we can add a background color to it. So let's add a background color to it. Background color, and let's make it #2222222. Okay, that's a dark gray color. And then here we can define that, okay, background color is dark, so the color of the font should be light, and a light color would be F6 F6 F6. Okay, that's a very close to white color, but it's still not pure white. Okay, so yeah, you can see that now these things are white colored and they're inside this section, but it's overflowing, so we are going to fix that now. So this is done. We have defined the width, height, the color, background color. Okay, and now we can start with the next stuff. Okay, so up next is we need some space from the top and the left and the right. Okay, because this looks very ugly, and in general also in websites you should have proper spacing from the left and right. So for that we will use a property called padding. Padding is basically the space or invisible space that you add inside an element. Okay, inside the element. Let me show you. So padding 20 pixels from top and bottom. Okay, and 120 pixels from left and right. If I save it, you'll see that there's some space from the top and then there's some space from the left. Okay, but this is because this content is more than the height, that's why it's overflowing. So we are going to fix that also. Okay, so for now this is over. Then one thing we saw in our design is that this and this, all of this is in a horizontal line, just like a row. Okay, so these terminologies are very important in web development, that is row and column. So whenever you need stuff, okay, side by side, okay, or you see a row or you see a column, one thing that should immediately come in your mind is that here is where I'll use the property of flexbox. Okay, and that's and this is how you do it. You write display, I don't know why it's not showing immediately, but yeah, okay, display flex. Okay, if you do that and save it, you can see that now logo and then the links and the burger, both of these children of the navbar element are now, side by side like a row horizontally, and that is what we needed, right? Okay, let's move further. So display flex, and along with flex you get two very useful properties. Okay, you get three actually, but right now we'll be discussing two, and the third one will come later on when we do it, when we make this responsive. Okay, so right now we are talking about two very useful properties, which is justify content. Okay, what justify content does is it justifies the content, okay, horizontally. Okay, so let me tell you what that means. If I say justify content center, you can see that now everything is centered horizontally. Okay, if I say justify content flex end, okay, flex end, then you will see that everything has moved towards the right of the page. Okay, so you have more properties on it, sorry, more values on this. So let's have a look at them. One of the values is called space between, which just spreads everything towards the end and then adds equal space in between. And this is something we need, because we need our logo towards the left and we need these links towards the right. But as you can see, because we have three things here, it is actually giving equal space to everything and the links are in between. So we don't want that. We want this burger to go away in larger screen and only be available to us in smaller screens. So that can be done by this. What you can do is, let us just leave navbar for now and remove this burger. So for that, okay, select the navbar and then select the burger. And then what you can do is just one line of CSS to remove any element is called display none. Okay, so there are different ways to remove things, but display none, what it does is it removes the element and also the space it acquires. So as soon as I save it, you'll see that the burger icon is now gone and I only see my logo towards the left and my links towards the right. Okay, let's come back to navbar, and here we see justify content, which helped us to do this, spread them across. And the next very important property is align items. Okay, and what this does is, this is exactly like justify content, but what this does is this aligns everything from top to bottom. That means vertically. Let me do center here so that everything is properly centrally aligned in this area. Saket Khare is asking, if we translate the burger to minus 100%, will it take space? Yes, because it's still on the screen, so it will take space. Okay, so now we have our logo already set up here and we have our links here, and we are almost done with the navbar styling. We only need to touch it again when we are doing responsiveness. For now, let's leave it and move to the next part, that is styling the logo. So as I said, we are not using any fancy image logo, we are just using a text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the logo, so dot navbar, and then select the logo. Okay, and then I'll just increase the font size maybe a little bit. Okay, let's make it 26 pixels, and also increase the font weight. Okay, that means the thickness of the font weight, let's make it 700 and save it. So you can see that now this is what my logo looks like and it looks pretty good. So we're going to leave it like this, and now we're going to work on this, the links. So let's do that. So select navbar, and then inside that select the every link, that means the nav links. And here what I want to do is I want to define a certain kind of width for this whole links to, spread out to, because we need it to be spread out like horizontally. That means we already know, as I said, that we need to do display flex here. Okay, we already know that because we wanted it horizontally in a row. But before that, we need to define an area for it to spread. So that's why we need to give it a width. And generally we have 4 links, so generally 350 to 400 pixels works best in this case. So we're gonna go midway with 380 pixels. Okay, this is not gonna make much difference, but you see that now because the width is more, it has moved towards this center, and now we can spread this out. So let's do that. Copy this because we're gonna have to target UL inside of this. Okay, so space UL, and now display flex. Display flex, I'll have to write only, it's not giving me immediately. Okay, so you can see now that everything is now side by side in a row. But again, we see those ugly bullet marks, how to remove them. So you're already under UL, so here you can use list style type. Okay, list style type, and then you can select none and save it, and you can see that now everything is removed. And then while you are here, you already use display flex. That means you also have access to the other properties, which are justify content. So here we can use them, justify content, and we can use again space between, so that everything will be spread out properly. And as you can see, we have our navigation bar ready. Okay, this is how our navigation bar should look like on our desktop screen. Am I right? Also, let me just in the body along with font size, let's make all the fonts weight to 500. Okay, it looks much better. Okay, so we already have this ready, that is this particular navigation bar for desktop. But when you see that if I decrease the size, this is what happens. Okay, this is what happens. It just starts, pushing everything towards one side and starts containing all the space and all, but you are not able to properly see the links or access them. So we don't want that. We want to add that responsive feature, so that whenever the screen size is below 768 pixels, that's the usual tablet breakpoint, so it should always become a icon, and then through that icon you should open it. Okay, so before we move towards responsiveness, let's do a little more styling here, so that we can add those small interactions like hover and all. Okay, so let's do that. So here what I need is, I need nav bar, and then I need to go inside nav links, and then select nav link singular. Okay, one link. And all I need to add here is a transition, so that everything is smooth. Transition of all 200 milliseconds, and maybe ease in out. Okay, so this is just going to make the animation smooth. And what animation I'm talking about? I'm talking about the hover animation or hover effect. So copy this whole thing, paste it here, and then write :hover. So this is basically how you add properties on different states of an element. So hover is a state. What does hover mean? Can someone tell me? What is the meaning of hover when we talk about in terms of web development?
When we bring the cursor on the object.
Yes, correct. Whenever you bring your mouse cursor on an element, that particular state is called hover state. Okay, so whatever you write here, that block will only be executed, or basically that style will only be applied when you actually hover over those elements. So let's do that. What do I want when I hover over these text that I have, these links? So I want the color to change, nothing much, just the color to change. And the color is the only color, the only few color codes I remember are my own DocoGen's website. So FFBD00, that's the yellow color. Okay, so now if I go here and hover over it, you can see that a smooth animation while the color changes from white to yellow. That is what is done with this transition all 200 milliseconds. That means transition of anything that is changing on the DOM, on the screen, make it 200 milliseconds slow. Okay, and ease in the animation and then ease out the animation. That's the meaning of this line. Okay, so that's it. That's the navigation bar for our desktop. Now we can start with the navigation bar for mobile screens. Okay, or should we style this section first? Okay, let's style the section first. So basically what I did here was that I made a class of section for everything. Okay, so basically what I want is that every section should be of 100% width and 100% height, basically, so that it can scroll properly. So let us do that. So dot section, and I can do here is width should be 100%, and then height, okay, come on VS Code, yeah, height should be 100 VH. Okay, and let's save it and see. So now you can see that now this section is full page height. Okay, home, and then scroll down, about, scroll down, services, scroll down, contact. Okay, so now we actually have some scrollable area. Okay, let's work on it a little bit more. Okay, so what else can we do? We can place this text in the center. So let's do that. So again, if you want to do anything, like a row, like a column, or you want to move it to center, the best way is to use display flex. Okay, always remember this. So again, justify content center. By the time I will write it, so justify content center, align items center. So now you can see that I have home in the center, I have about in the center, I have services in the center, and I have contact in the center. Okay, because every one of these section have the same class. That is why the same thing. And why I declared this ID, so that I can navigate to these positions. Okay, and also add some different colors for every section, because we have to make it look good, right? That's why we need it. So let's add those colors. Okay, so let me add those IDs first. So the first one is hash home. Let me add comma and add all of them here. No, different colors, different IDs, sorry. So hash home, hash about, not dollar, hash about, different color, and then we'll have hash services. Okay, this is just to add colors to this thing. Okay, background color, and then hash contact. You can just leave it like this, no problem in that. And let me just copy the colors quickly. So okay, if you guys want the colors, let me know. I'll drop them in the chat box. These are very soothing pastel colors. Okay, and if I save this, you can see that now I have very soothing pastel colors here, about, services, and contact. So different section has different color. Okay, send the background colors for all of these sections. Okay, you can add them. And again, I noticed one thing, that when I scroll, the navigation bar also scrolls. So we don't want that. We want the navigation bar to always be fixed at the top. Okay, so let's do that. So in nav bar, I can write position is fixed. Okay, and then I can define that this position should be at the top. So top is going to be 0. If I do that, now you will see that when I scroll, the navigation bar is always at the top, right? That is what we needed. Now let's connect these links to all of these sections, and the best way to do that, or the only way, is that here where we added hashes, right? We just need to add the IDs. So let's do that. For this logo also, we need to go to home. For this home button, we need to go to home. For this about button, to about. For this services button, services. For this contact button, to contact, and save it. Once you do that, if you click on about, let it refresh. If you click on about, you see that the about section is here. If you click on services, you see that we have scrolled down to services. If you click on contact, you can see the contact page. If you click on the logo or the home button, you will be taken to home. But as you can see, that the animation is very abrupt. Like you're not scrolling actually, you are just getting that element. So can someone tell me what, if you already know, okay, like I remember teaching it to a few of you. So can someone tell me what property I need to add here so to receive that smooth scroll?
Smooth scrolling.
Yep, correct. So that is where we'll add it here. So we'll go and add it inside the body. Okay, and that's called scroll behavior. Okay, not smooth scroll, but scroll behavior. Scroll behavior, and that should be smooth. Okay, smooth. If you save it now, if you try and click on it, okay, about, let it refresh. Okay, wait, oh sorry, this should be not in the body but in the global tag. Sorry, my mistake. And now if you do this, you can see that it is scrolling smoothly. Okay, home, about, services, and contact. Now we have that really smooth kind of scrolling effect whenever you want to go to any position. Okay, so everything is wired up and we are good to go towards the responsiveness features. So let's make our page a lot more smaller, okay, where we think that it will hit that particular position. So yeah, here we don't want this to happen. We want it to go into the mobile menu. So let's start that. So for that, for adding any kind of responsive features, we use something known as media queries. Okay, so this is how you write it. You write @media. Okay, the spelling is wrong, sorry. Media, and then you write screen, and then you write and then you give inside bracket the maximum width. Okay, so maximum width, and then you describe the width as 768 pixels. Okay, that is the general size of a tablet screen, 768 pixels, and that is where you want this whole navigation bar to change, right? That is where you want that burger icon to come back, which we have been missing from so long. Okay, so that is where we want to add that. So let's bring it back. So here the first thing that we'll do is, first let us just make this navigation bar come towards the right side and then fix it. So for that, again we'll catch the nav bar and then we'll select the nav links. Okay, so we're gonna style this particular area, okay, this particular area where the links are. Okay, so let's do that. So the first thing is that we are going to say that position should be absolute. That means I am going to define your absolute position. Okay, and that position is top should be 10 VH because that's the height of our nav bar. So it should start just below the nav bar, and then right, okay, right should be 0 so that it is on the right side of the screen. So if I save it, you can see that now my links are here, okay, right below the nav bar, and it is now sticking to the right side. Next thing that I want to do is I want to add that background color to it. So not the same background color as the nav bar, but a little bit lighter. Okay, so what I'm going to do is here is background color hash, instead of 22226 times I'm going to use 3. So this is going to be a lighter shade of gray. If I save it, you can see that now this has a background color of that particular gray. And now here below this background color, let's define a width. So what kind of nav bar do you guys want? Half page or full page? Because full page is not that great, or maybe 70% or 40% like that. 60%, okay. Okay, fine, let's add that. So width is going to be 60%, okay. That means it is going to cover till here on the page, okay, 60% of the page. And the next thing that you need to add is the whole height of this section. That means from here till here, and we already know the above part is 10 VH, so the remaining would be 90 VH. Okay, so that's what you'll write here. Height is going to be 90 VH, sorry, 90 VH. Save it, and you can see the menu that this is the final position. Okay, so that's how animation works. You have one initial position and a final position. So right now we are just making the end point the way we want to see it, and then we'll start animating it. Okay, so right now we are just making the end point. So we have the background ready, and now we need to align all of these links properly here. Okay, so let's do that. So the first thing that I'll do is, because I know inside my nav links I have something called UL, and inside that UL I have all my different links. So I need to add display flex here to center everything. So display flex, justify content is going to be center, and then align items is going to be center. Okay, that's it. So now we have everything here, and now we need to fix this, the UL. Okay, so let's do that. So for that, let me just quickly copy this, because we need to go inside UL, that's here. Okay, so copy, paste it here. Make sure that it is within your media query bracket. Okay, so this is the bracket of media query, so it should be inside this only, because everything you write inside a media query, that is only applied to this particular width size. Okay, so as soon as your screen size hit this particular pixel width, all this style is going to be applied. Okay, okay, so let's do that. So here also we need display flex. Okay, display flex, but instead of that, I told you we have also a third property that is very, very useful in flex, apart from justify content and align items, and that third property is known as flex direction. Okay, so flex direction basically tells us whether we want a row or a column, because by default flex direction puts everything into a row, right? Because the default value for flex direction is always row, but we can change that. We can make it row reverse. Let's see what it does. Okay, save it, and you can see that now contact services, about home, they are reversed. In the same way, we can even choose to not have row in any way. We can choose a column, and when we do that, you can see that now all of them are on top of each other, just the way we want. Okay, what's next? Okay, after this, what we can do is we can then define a height of this whole section, and we can make it like 40 VH or something, so that it has some height and it spreads properly. So now you can see that because we had that space between, it's still applied here. So we have our links properly spaced in this section. Okay, So basically we are almost done with the menu section. Now what we need is we need our burger icon, right? So let's bring that back. So here below navbar link ul, we're gonna again call navbar and then dot burger, and we are gonna say that okay, we removed you from the screen, but now we are bringing you back. So for that, display should be block. Okay, so for removing it, display none, bringing it back, display block. If I save it, you can see that it's back and it is right here. But you see that it is not behaving like a link, because here if I hover, my cursor is changing to a pointer. So we can mimic that property by adding it here. So basically every time I hover over it, it should behave like a link. So cursor is going to be pointer. So now if I hover over it, you can see that now the cursor is now a pointer. So it feels like, okay, this is clickable. Okay, that's the main essence of it. It is clickable. And what else can I do? I should increase its size a little bit. So font size is going to be 22 pixels maybe. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks fine. Okay. Yep. And what else can I do here? We have a hover effect on all of this. Maybe we can add a hover effect on this. So let's do that. Copy this, paste it here, add hover, and then we can change the color. Okay. So color can be again FFBD00. Save it, and when you hover over it, you can see this, and we can go to the top and copy that transition wala thing, so that because everything is same, so we can add the same thing. Control C, and then bring it back to the original burger setting. So now if you hover over it properly, it will go from white to yellow and back to white. Okay, so that is exactly what we need, and now we can begin animating. Okay, so let me just explain you how animation works once again. That is, it has an initial position and then it has a final position. That is the core concept of animation. Okay, so if you want to animate anything, you should have an initial point, the starting point, and you should have an ending point. Okay, that's the core concept. So basically in animation, you move from the initial point towards the ending point or the final destination. Okay, so basically when this navigation bar is not opened, it is here, right? It is not visible and it should be inside towards the right. Okay, and whenever you click on it, it should open. So basically we want to go from initial position of hidden, that is here this side, towards visible towards the left. It should come outside, it should slide in. So to achieve that, we are going to specify our CSS code to actually move it towards the right, and then we will animate it on click using JavaScript. Okay, so let's do that. So all you need to do is write transform translate. Okay, transform translate x, that means in the x axis. Okay, all of you know, right, what x axis, y axis, and z axis is. I hope all of you know that. Okay, x axis is basically horizontal, y axis vertical, z axis is something that comes out of the screen. Okay, imaginary axis. So yeah, x axis, and how much should it go? It should go 100%. If I do that and save it, you can see what happened. It is now not visible on the screen because it has been pushed. Let me just make it 50% so that you can see it. You see what's happening? It is being pushed towards the right, and that is what we want. Okay, so we'll push it properly towards 100, and then finally what we want to achieve is that when we click on this, this should become 0. Okay, like this. So that means it's moving from 100 initial position to 0 position. Okay, that's what's happening. So let's make it 100, and to actually achieve this, let me just create a pseudo class, or basically a dummy class that will be using just for the animation purposes. Okay, so basically what I'll do is I'll write dot navbar and then write dot open. That means whenever there is no space between two classes, that means they are applied on the same element. Okay, I'll show you what that means right now. So what I want is that whenever navbar and open both are applied on the same element, then what you should do is you should make the navbar links, that is nav links, okay, back to what they were. So that means the translate should be back to 0. Okay, so now if you want to mimic this whole animation, what you can do is you can go back to index.html, and where you had navbar class, you can just add space and write open and save it. you can see that now on the right side the navbar is open. Okay, that's what that particular line of code meant in CSS, that whenever navbar and open are together on an element, okay, and then after that whatever is written, do that. That's what it means. And if I remove this open, what will happen is that the navigation bar, the menu, is gonna hide itself. Okay, so this is the animation we are going for. So basically the concept is clear, that the thing we need to be doing is whenever I click on this icon, my code should add open here, and whenever I click it again, it should remove it. That is the core concept. जब भी click करें open आ जाए, and again click करें अगर तो वापस चला जाए. Okay, that's what we want. When I click on the icon, open should be added. When I again click on it, it should remove it, and it should keep doing it, basically like a switch, on off, right? तो उसको बोलते हैं toggle. So let's see how it's done. Okay, so let's see if we have missed something in CSS. Yeah, we missed something. We are doing animation, but we don't have any kind of transition on it, so we need to put that. So transition is going to be again all 200 milliseconds, and you can just copy the same thing. It works perfectly well. Okay, so ease in out and save it. Okay, so that's it for CSS. Is everyone done with CSS? Were you able to finish it alongside me? Let's see. Okay, Akshat Mittal, great. Akshat Kosya, okay, great. Good job. So now, if I change the screen size, you can actually see that the navigation bar is responsive, right? See, if I make it larger, I can see my links. If I make it smaller, I can see the burger icon, but it is not working. So basically we need to implement some kind of interaction that is based on click. Okay, so we need to add that. So now for that we need to add that using JavaScript. Okay, so we already created a JavaScript file called app.js in the starting of the session. So we'll go back to index.html, and you can add your JavaScript file right here inside head, but it is always preferred that you add your JavaScript file at the end of your project, right before your body tag ends. Okay, right before your body tag closes. Just before that, you can write script src, and then you can write the name of your file. Okay, whatever name you gave, you can write it. Okay, so basically now my JavaScript file has been attached or linked to this HTML page, and now I can start writing JavaScript. Okay, so for those of you who don't know JavaScript, just keep following along and you'll understand something about it. Okay, don't worry if you don't understand everything. It's just a simple thing. We need to write I guess only 5 to 6 lines of code, so yeah, it won't be much. Okay, and I'll try my best to clarify everything as much as possible. So let's do that. So the first thing, okay, my method always in JavaScript is to just grab everything from the page that I would need. Okay, so what things would I need? I am gonna click on burger, so that means I need the burger. Okay, I need this burger icon. And what else I am affecting on the page? I am going to affect the navbar element, because that particular open class that we made in CSS, I want that open class to be applied to navbar, right? That means I'm currently working with two different items on my screen. One is the burger icon and the second one is the navbar. So let's bring both of them in. And the way you bring both of them in is like this. Okay, so const, and then you give a variable name. Okay, so variable name, let us make it burger, is equal to, and then you write this document dot query selector, because I'm going to use class to bring that in. So query selector, and then in bracket I'm just going to write the class. So the class is dot burger. Okay, so basically this brings in that burger icon to my JavaScript file, and the next thing that I need is I need the navbar. So const navbar equals to, again the same thing, document dot query selector, and then here I'm going to write dot navbar, not mavbar but navbar. Okay, so I have both the elements from my screen, from my HTML file that I need. Okay, this is what I need. Now pay attention. Okay, so everything inside a document or an HTML page, okay, has different kind of events. Like if I click on it, this is basically a click event. If I move my mouse, so that's basically a mouse move event. So everything in a page has different kind of events, okay, and that is where JavaScript provides to you a method called add event listener, okay. So just like the name suggests, this particular method allows you to listen to various kind of events on your page, okay. So let's do that. So here we want to listen to a click event on the burger icon. That is what we want to listen to that click event on this burger icon. So let's do that. So we'll write our variable, that is burger, and then dot, okay, add event listener, okay, burger dot add event listener. And which event are we going to listen to? So add brackets and then in quotes write click, because we are listening for a click on the burger icon. Then add comma, and after listening to that event, we want something to happen, okay. We want this program to do some kind of function, okay. We want this to do something, okay. So for that to happen, what we need to do is we need to write a function here, okay. And this is how you write a function in ES6, okay. This is an arrow function, an anonymous function where you don't need to name anything. So you make brackets, okay, and then you make an arrow like this by using equal to and greater than sign, okay. There's no space in between, and then you write this, okay, curly brackets, and inside the curly brackets you enter, and this is where we will write what happens when we click. So basically this is how it works. We say that, okay, this is my burger element, listen to this particular event on it, and whenever you listen to this event, whenever I click on it, do this, whatever is written inside it, okay, do this. So let us check, okay. So just like you print something in Python by writing print hello or something, or in C++ by writing cout, or Java by system.out.println, in the same way in this you can use the console window to print something, okay. So I'm going to write console.log, and I'm going to say that this element was clicked, okay. This is just to show you how it happens, okay. So I have saved this, and now if you want to see this, you will have to go to this your window and click on inspect, right click and click on inspect, okay, and then you have to open your console, okay. You have to open your console, okay. So this is the console, and just focus here inside my console, okay, right here. Right now there's nothing, but as soon as I click this, you can see that there's something written here. This element was clicked, okay. That means our function, whatever we wrote, is working fine, okay. That means we have an event listener on burger which is listening to clicks, and whenever it is being clicked, this particular thing is being printed, okay. Let's click it few more times, okay. So you can see that number is increasing here. That means this much time it has been clicked. So that means our everything what we wrote is perfectly working. So let's close this, okay, and remove this console log and write the exact function which we need, okay. Yep. So now we are again back to that point. What do we need to happen? We need to toggle. As I said, the word I used was toggle, just like switch. You toggle it on and off. So we need to toggle the open class, okay. Add the open class. When you do that, you can see the navigation bar is open, and then close the nav bar, okay. So remove the open class, okay, not nav bar but nav bar, okay. So that's what we want to do. We want to toggle the open class. So let's do that. Here you're gonna write nav bar, and now you want to access the class list of this element. So for that, as the name suggests, class list is the function, okay. So class, not like this, class list, okay. And after that, what you want to do to that class list, you want to toggle something. So again, dot toggle, okay, dot toggle, and in brackets now you can write the name of the class. So the name of the class is open, and save it, okay. And now if you go ahead and click on it, you can see that your nav bar is not working. As soon as you click on it, it opens, and if you again click on it, it closes, So here you have your responsive nav bar. When you click on the burger icon, it opens. When you click again on it, it closes. So that's it for this session. That's all you need to do to create a responsive navigation bar. How many of you have it? Right? Yes. It's not responding to clicks. Please check if you have written everything in the same manner, because JavaScript, if you write it in some other way, then it won't work. Okay. Also remember that just writing JavaScript won't matter. You have to add your JavaScript file at the bottom here. So make sure that you have done this. Yeah, check that file is linked or not. Okay. 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 So Akshat and Shivam are facing some problem. Okay, we'll deal with it. What about others? Let's see if others got it or not. I'm going to show the JavaScript code again. It's just a 6-line code. Check it out. So only Akshat got it. Akshat Khosya. What about others? Saket got it. Okay. Others who are coding along? Done. Vansh got it. Someone got it. That's great. So all of you who got it, please just take out your phone or whatever device you use to use your Instagram, and just quickly give us a quick shout out. Okay, you can click a picture of what you made. You can record a small video about it, and then you can post it on your stories and tag Dokogen @Dokogen, and we'll be very happy to give you a shout out on our page. Okay, so please go ahead and do that. It will give us some boost also, and it will help us to reach more and more people. Okay, so that's it for today's session. That was the whole क्या बोलते हैं, this navigation bar. Okay, I went full Hindi in this. Okay, no problem. This is the responsive navigation bar. You can then add your own colors. You can add your own background colors. Okay, and change it as to your liking. And this is something that is used in every website, so you can just keep it and save it somewhere so that you can reuse it in all your other projects. Okay, it will be very helpful for you. Okay, so now those who are facing problem with this, let me address your problems and see what is going wrong with you guys. Also, if any one of you wants to revisit this, okay, this code or this particular project, I have a code pen for you. Okay, that's already been created. Okay, it's the code pen this is a code pen for this particular session, and this also has an extra feature. Okay, this also has an extra feature. Okay, a little more lines of JavaScript code, where right now in your code, if you click on the burger icon, okay, the navigation bar opens and it closes when you click on it again. But in this code, there's an extra feature that if you click outside the nav bar, then also it closes. Okay, so if you want that, you can go ahead to this particular code pen. I'm going to drop the link in the chat box. Okay, if you like the whole thing, you can give it a heart. Okay, you can like the project, and yeah, you can find it here. I'm going to give you the pen. Okay, so I've sent it. Okay, so that's been the session. Now I'm going to stop presenting, and one by one, those who are facing problem in their code, you can share the screen. Okay, so Akshat, go ahead, you can share the screen. Others, those who have got the final product, please just take a screenshot or take a photo, take a video, and upload it on your stories and give us a shout out, tag us, and we'll be very happy to give you a shout out on our Instagram page. And also, thank you so much for joining today. This was a great session. You all have been a great audience.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, Akshat, go ahead.
Sir, I have linked my JavaScript file here in the HTML file.
Okay, great. App.js. Yes, correct. Show me app.js. You have the
This is
burger.
the app.js.
Okay, Akshat, in navbar query selector, you have not put a dot.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Yeah, now put that, save it, and try it out.
Yes, sir, it's working now.
Working now? Okay, great. Good job.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
सर मेरा एक डाउट था.
Yep. Who's this?
अक्षत खोसा।
Akshat Kose. Okay. Yeah. Tell me.
जो जो CSS में हमने यूज किया है डॉट नेवर एंड देन डॉट नेवलिंक्स,
हाँ
वो
हाँ.
पूछना था कि वो क्यों यूज करते हैं। मीन्स
Uh,
डायरेक्ट नेवलिंक्स को सिलेक्ट
अच्छा
कर
अच्छा.
सकते
Okay
थे
okay. हाँ. Okay.
डॉट नेवलिंक्स।
Okay. So this is a part of best practices. Okay. So होता क्या है कि there are two ways to code. One is you just are learning something and you start coding it. So that's like development code. Okay. You are just learning and you are just experimenting with stuff. But then there's something known as production ready code. Okay. Or best practices to write code. So this way of writing जिसमें कि पहले हम पहला एलिमेंट लिखते हैं एंड देन वी गो इनसाइड इट एंड देन वी राइट द सेकेंड एलिमेंट, तो दिस इज नोन एज अ बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस बिकॉज अगर फ्यूचर में मेरा कोड कोई पढ़ेगा सो दे विल ईजिली अंडरस्टैंड कि मैं किस पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट को सेलेक्ट कर रहा हूँ बिकॉज आई हैव रिटन इन दैट वे कि फर्स्ट नैव बार इनसाइड नैव बार नैव लिंक्स एंड देन इनसाइड नैव लिंक्स नैव लिंक सिंगुलर, इसलिए ये करते हैं.
ओके।
हाँ, लाइक यू कैन
और
ईजिली
जो
सेलेक्ट
जावा
इट.
ओके, और जो जावास्क्रिप्ट उसमें सेमीकोलन यूज करे तो भी सही आ रहा है, मीन्स नहीं यूज करे तो भी आउटपुट आ रहा
हाँ,
है।
JavaScript has evolved over time and now you don't need to write those semicolons anymore. So करना है तो कर सकते हैं, नहीं करना है तो नहीं कर सकते हैं. Also, one more thing, you should decide it from the first day itself of coding JavaScript whether you are using semicolon or not, and also whether you are using double quotes or single quotes. बिकॉज आपके कोड में दोनों मिक्स नहीं होना चाहिए, या तो सिंगल कोट्स या तो डबल कोट्स, और या तो सेमीकोलन होगा या तो सेमीकोलन नहीं होगा. तो ये आप अपने लिए खुद का प्रेफरेंस बना लो एंड यू कैन डू दैट.
ओके।
यप.
भैया आई हैड अ डाउट.
या गो अहेड.
यू रिमेम्बर द स्टार्टअप एक्सपीरियंस वाला जो अपना वो था,
हाँ हाँ.
उसमें यही चीज़ था ना, रेस्पॉन्सिवनेस वाला.
यस
जो
यस
अपना
यस,
उसमें
दिस
था.
वाज द रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस थिंग.
आई क्रिएटेड इट विद सास, नॉट प्रॉपर CSS. उसमें जब अपन डिस्प्ले नन कर रहे हैं हैमबर्गर वाले का, until द विंडोज गेट स्मॉल्स, उस पे एक एक्स्ट्रा वो जो उसका ब्रैकेट है ना, डिस्प्ले नन होने के बाद भी एक जगह शो हो रही है विंडो पे. दैट्स व्हाई आई रिमूव्ड इट आउट.
Okay, so what we'll do is ना आप तुम अरे ओंकार, you also told me to contact you ना, I
Yeah.
haven't been able to contact you, so
That
I'll
was the only reason that I wanted to
yeah
talk
yeah,
to
no
you
no no,
about,
we'll
because
what we'll do is I'll open your project, like I'll not open it right now, but I'll send you a time on Discord, and that time I can open your project and one on one I can talk with you and then discuss the whole
Okay,
project.
sure.
I think that will be much better.
Yeah,
Or are you
that-
comfortable with me showing it right now or later on?
later on it's okay. It's fine.
Okay,
later
so
on,
we'll
I'll
do it later on. Okay,
Sure,
no
sure.
problem.
Thanks.
Shivam,
Thank you.
yes, go ahead, share your screen. Also, those who are new here and those who are not a part of community, so basically this session was possible because of a student community that we run, that is known as Doko Nation. Okay, and that's an amazing platform for all students to learn different things. As you can see, today we had this session. In the same way, we could keep on having different kind of sessions. So if you are interested of being a part of such community, do join the community. I'm going to drop the link in the chat box so that you can join the community. And also, if you like this, please share this link with your friends also, and hop them along towards the community, and just chill with them together and enjoy being a part of a community, because it helps you a lot to grow. So I have sent the link, check it out. Okay, Shivam, show me what problem you're facing.
Hello, sir. My burger icon.
Yeah, so burger icon won't be visible in the large screen, right? Just make the screen smaller.
Yeah. Just now it is not.
Okay, it's not visible. Okay, wait. So first of all, go to VS Code. Let's fix some errors that we can see. So in this, there's an error of arrow, app.js. Open app.js. Fix the arrow, I guess. Yeah, you haven't put a comma after click. So after click and that quote, put a comma. Yep. So now
Here.
navbar. This is fixed. Okay, save it. Okay, and then move to index.html. Let us check the HTML code. Okay, navbar, logo, nav links. Okay, scroll down. Show me the burger icon where you have put it. Okay, so it's called BURGER FAS FA bars. Okay, correct. Save this file. You haven't saved it yet. Save it. Okay, go to style.css. Okay. Navbar.berg. Okay. Wait. Scroll down. Display none. Okay, this is correct. Scroll down. Show me the media queries whenever they start. Let me check if there's any mistake in that. Okay, media screen and width is 768 pixels. Correct. Navbar is also okay. Okay, the first thing is key navbar and open. There should be no space. That was what I was telling. No, there should not be any space in between. So dot navbar and dot open. Remove the space and just stick them together. Yeah, okay, that is one thing fixed. Scroll down. Navbar, burger, display block, and cursor. Okay, this looks fine. Can you go back to HTML? Let us check if you have used the correct implementation.
Sir, he used fast for bars.
FAS, no, that's FAS only, because we are using Font Awesome 5.15 version, so in that it is FAS. And okay, remove that FA bars, FA dash bars only. Fa bars is not there. Yeah, now save it. So it's FAS space FA dash bars. And now check your website in Chrome. Refresh it once because you have done a lot of changes. Try refreshing. Expand your menu. Let me see once again. Okay. This is showing. Okay. Can you do one thing? Open the developer menu option.
Inspect.
Yeah, Saket is asking, have you added the Font Awesome CDN that I sent? Check if you added it.
Yeah, sir.
Because the class looks
It's
fine.
right there.
Yeah, it is added. Style sheet is also added.
The icon was looking means it was added at the starting. The color also changed, but while writing CSS, something happens after that. The logo disappears. Means that burger icon disappears.
Okay. Okay, do one thing. The screen is also not visible properly, but let me see. Burger, Navbar logo. Yeah, this looks fine.
Try inspecting and seeing if the
Yeah.
hamburger icon is there or not first.
Go back to your browser and see that in the inspect window. Do Control Shift I or inspect. Yeah, okay. And right now we can hover over that burger thing where it is written div class burger. You can see that in the second line, no, inside body. Click on that. Yeah, okay, so it's that side. It's not yet added to the screen. FAS FA bars. It's FAS FA. Let me check. Yeah, it's FAS FA bars. Okay, that's also correct. I class. Now come back to that. Let us check once more. Your navbar class. It's problem with your CSS only. Somewhere you missed out on something, and that's why this is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, what you can do is know that I have sent that CodePen link, right? Try going to that link and copying the CSS code and pasting it here. Let's see if that fixes it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else facing similar problems with CSS maybe? Or all of you have got it?
Sir, my toggling is not working. So
Okay.
I'm just clicking and it's not doing anything.
Okay. You also share your screen. By the time Shivam is adding it, both of you can share the screen. So it's no problem. Let's have a look at your code. others also, if you have problems in your code, stay back. Otherwise, you can leave the meeting. There's no, there's no problem in it. Akash got it. Great. Thank you so much, everyone else, for joining. If you have any problem with your code, you can stay back. I'll help you out. Okay, you have got this. Okay, this is your, okay, got it. You have,
Just nothing happened like that. Okay, sorry.
okay, it's not working.
Because
Go to
my
your,
code, the HTML code.
wait, I can see your code. Just scroll down.
Okay.
Let me see if you have added this or not, the app.js file.
App.js, yes, I added in the last.
Okay, you have added it. Script, src, everything is okay. Go to app.js, let me check. Okay, so you have burger also. Okay, so the second line, change burger to navbar.
Oh,
The variable is used twice, so it doesn't
yeah,
know
I
what
just
to do.
copied it and.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I get it. Just try it out if that's the only problem, or we need to check more. Save it and try it out. Refresh once,
Yeah, I saved
just to be
it.
safe.
No, not working.
Okay, did it refresh? Because there are a lot of tabs. I did not see it refresh. Try once more.
Yes, I
Okay,
refreshed.
okay. Okay, fine. Mm, navbar add event. Okay, there's a space. Navbar class list dot toggle. Toggle and bracket should be together. Yes, Saket also told the same. Space.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Now save it and try it.
I don't know what I did wrong.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Also, one more space. One more space. Click space. There's a space there. A
Okay.
lot of spaces. Don't add these spaces. You have a space at
Ah,
dot
I
burger
did.
also. Okay, fine. It
It's
came.
just comedy where everything else went.
That means you messed up the CSS somehow.
Okay.
Navbar links, 90vh.
Yeah, I'd like to show you from the starting.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. The starting one is working, right? Just expand your screen and show me if it's working properly or not. The browser screen. I
Oh,
want to
not look
see the
there.
navbar. Like in PC screen, how does it look like?
Do. Oh no, no, no. Wait,
It's
I'm doing
right
it.
there.
I'm doing it. Wait.
Okay, okay, fine.
I'm doing it. Just wait still. I want to do it.
You can just minimize it and then you can maximize. Yeah, okay, that's it. Okay. So CSS is totally messed up because I can still see the burger icon here and then it is in center. So go check CSS one more time. Okay, you missed a lot of stuff in there.
Okay, I'll do it all by
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Because there's a lot of stuff, so you can open the CodePen link and you can get the CSS. If you have any problem, you can drop it down in the community, or you're even in the training program, so you can talk to me about it there itself. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Shivam, did you get it?
Just a minute, sir.
Okay, okay. What about others? Any problem? Anything that you're facing in your code? Kushagra is also not getting it. Share your screen. Okay, someone. That's great.
Great decoding session for sure.
Yeah. CSS is very tricky, and that's why a lot of people leave it. But yeah, you will fall in love with CSS slowly and steadily by making all of this cool stuff.
I find SAS better.
Yeah, SAS is again it's built upon CSS, right? So first you
Yeah.
need to know the properties and how they work. Then only you can move towards SAS.
No, the working process I'm talking about.
Yeah, the working process
Like
is
it
obviously
makes the
better.
syntax easy. It
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
the syntax and readability easy.
Also, you have access to functions, variables, and predefined mixins and stuff. So that's always better.
Yeah, that's
Okay, Kushag, what's the problem? Show the website first. Let's have a look at it. Oh my god, something is really messed up. Okay. Whew, a lot of CSS mistakes, Kushagr. Okay, let's have a look at some of those. Let's fix them. CSS. Okay, so I can already see that there are errors in this. Okay, so let's find those red squiggly lines wherever they are. Identifier expected. Click on one of those at least. Let's see. Go to style.css, the below errors in the style.css first. Let's fix that. Yep. Okay, so there's 2 dots. Remove one. Okay, one error.
One more
Sorted.
double dot just below
One
that.
more, yeah, one more double dot. One more. Okay, so it's basically double dots.
Problem solved.
Save it. Let's have a look. Okay, in yours it is saying to add semicolon. No, so just add it.
Oh, there's a circle bracket, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, you messed up here.
There's a circle bracket at the
Yep,
end.
correct. Kushagr, just after click, you have a bracket right there. You close the bracket. You don't have to close the bracket. Just remove that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you can remove the semicolon also. You don't need it. Everyone hates semicolons. At least I do. Save CSS, no. You haven't saved both the files.
Save.
Yep.
Ready.
Okay, something is still messed up. Okay, go to your code. Let's see.
CSS.
It's all CSS only.
Yeah.
Okay. Navbar, burger. Scroll down. Okay, wait. Let me see your HTML. See, you have used my HTML code, right, which I sent. So in my code, the L is capital in nav links and nav link, and in your style, it's not. Yeah. So for that to work, you need to remove. Just do one thing. I'm telling a shortcut again. Click near L in the nav link, the first one. Okay. Sorry, the second one. This you have fixed already. The next one. Arey, you can see it right there. Next to it, ऊपर. हाँ, nav link. हाँ, home के बगल में. Yeah. Correct. That's one. L के बगल में click करो. हाँ, okay. Now press Alt on your keyboard. Alt दबा के and then नीचे जितने भी nav link के L के बगल में click करना है वहाँ पे click कर दो. यहाँ पे फिर नीचे. Okay, great. Scroll down and again. हाँ, and now press backspace.
Alt को छोड़ के.
हाँ, Alt को छोड़ के. हाँ, अभी छोड़ देना. And then write small l. And now press escape. हाँ, तो ये एक शॉर्टकट है where you can have multiple cursors. तो अगर ऐसा कुछ change करना हो, you can do this like this. Okay, so finally we have that in line. And इसी तरीके से I see one more nav links नीचे, उसको हटा दो. After burger you have one more nav links नीचे.
छोटा ही है.
Yep. इसको पूरा हटा दो, ये पूरा चाहिए ही नहीं. गलत है. Everything, the whole div, class, div, everything.
हैमबर्गर वाला के बाद एक और लगा दिया.
Yep.
Okay.
बस, that's okay. That's required. वही तो बंद कर रहा है नैबा को. Okay, save it. Let's have a look. Oh, seriously, this is becoming a decoding session and everything. Okay, finally you've got it. You've got this. Okay, so अभी at least PC window में it's looking good. Let's see. Okay, it's working here also. Okay, click is not working. Go to HTML. Okay, in HTML you just have to add that script. So at last you have written div class script. It's not added like that. Remove that whole line. Okay, and write script SCR. अपने आप आ जाएगा फिर बाकी SCR and second option. Okay, fine, ठीक है. अभी पहले स्क्रिप्ट के T के बाद स्पेस देके राइट SRC स्पेस SRC equals. हाँ, okay. And then now you can write the name of your file, that is app.js. Okay, save. हाँ, ये सब नहीं करना वापस. हाँ, save. Let's check. छोटे में ही आएगा भाई, वो इसमें नहीं आएगा.
Just open it with live
Ah,
server.
okay. Done. Great.
अब वो रह गया डॉट सेक्शन.
अरे वो भी वही यू हैव यूज्ड SECT एंड मेरे वाले में सेक्शन उठा लिया होगा तो चेक style.css नीचे हल्का सा. हाँ वेट, यहाँ पे सेक्शन को SECT कर दो, दैट्स इट. ऊपर है हाँ, लाइन 55 एंड सेव इट. नाउ चेक. अभी यहाँ पे थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो रहा है. लेट मी सी द कोड अगेन. मेरे ख्याल से विड्थ की दिक्कत है. विड्थ शायद 10% रह गई है. ओके 100 पिक्सल्स है. मेक दैट परसेंट 100%. पूरी स्क्रीन चाहिए. ओके गॉट इट. सेव. फाइनली यू हैव इट. ओके
Okay, thank you.
ओके ग्रेट.
Shivam messed up things I can see in chat.
Shivam messed up things. Okay, no problem, Shivam. Again, try copying and pasting and you'll get it. Because everyone did the same thing, it's the same code. Try it. If you don't get it, you can always reach out to me in the Doconation server. Okay, I'll help you out. Now it's 9 and I'll have to go now because it's almost my dinner time. Okay, so I'll see you guys later in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care. And if anyone has any problem, as I said, reach out to us in the community. The link is already in chat. If you need it again, I'm going to drop it again. Those who are not in the community, it's for them. Those who are already there, thank you for being in the community, and do share it with your friends so that more and more people can join it and benefit from this.
Shivam restart.
The best advice that anyone can give. Great.
Or just restart your VS Code. That
Yeah.
might also work.
Exactly. Alt F4 दबाएं हो जाएगा. Correct. Okay guys.
Just send me the time. So
Sorry?
Or-
Yeah, okay.
or
I'll
the
just
startup.
definitely send you the time. I'll send it to you on Discord, okay?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. OP session, thank you so much, Akash. It's not Rehan. Saket
3 रह
यार.
गया. 3 रह गया.
मतलब साकेत से तो ये उम्मीद नहीं है ना यार. हाँ ओके, त्रेहन ठीक है. ओके गाइज, बाय बाय, सी यू लेटर. अभी सब लीव कर दो. आई हैव टू स्टॉप रिकॉर्डिंग ऑल्सो. ओके बाय बाय, थैंक यू.
Yeah.